What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. I know this one is coming out later than, usual, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Work been beating me this past weekend with just full of stuff. I went to my baby JoJo's concert. Yeah, I went to JoJo's concert. My niece also had a birthday. So I was just really busy this past weekend. Usually I film or record my episodes over the weekend. And then I was like, you know what? I could make up for it sometime this week. But like I said, work's been beating me. So yeah, y'all are getting this episode on Friday, tomorrow as of me recording this, but y'all are getting this episode Friday. And, as you guys can see in the title, this is the one and only Kanye video or episode that I will ever need to make. And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm not going to lie to y'all. For a long time, I've been avoiding the topic of Kanye West. These past few months, I've been avoiding it. I know I usually talk about hip hop a lot, especially since that's one of my favorite genres. I talk about music a lot, not only just film, but I talk about, music a lot. And I know there's certain people that wanted me to talk about Kanye. And I have had people ask me, are you going to talk about Kanye? And I kept saying no, just because I didn't want to give exposure to him or anything like that. But when I think about it, it's not really me giving him any exposure because, for one, it's Kanye West. What more exposure does somebody like him need? And then second, it's when I talk about this, I'm not going to talk about it like how everybody else talks about it. Because if I'm going to be honest, I'm not really necessarily going to talk about Kanye this episode. I'm pretty much going to be talking about the people covering Kanye. So yeah, it involves Kanye. The rest of this episode does involve him, but I'm just more going to address y'all because what is there else left to say about this dude? And that's my main point. I know it's crazy to say my main point right out the gate, but I'm just going to be 100% honest. I'm going to be 100% transparent and all of that. What is the point of talking about this dude? Because for the past few months, I've been seeing all different types of creators and people give their 2 cents. I've seen hour-long videos talking about what this dude's been doing for the past few months. And I'm just bro, we're focusing on what he's been doing for the past few months, but these are habits that he had for years. Some of these habits that he's exhibiting has been around for a decade. So that's my biggest problem. And that's why I'm saying this is the one and only Kanye video I will ever have to do, because it's the same story over and over and over and over again. And I just need to address y'all. So first was, I guess, I look, the timeline is messed up because it's all the same activity. The tweets coming out as I don't even know what the word is that I can say instead of it, but he basically said he came out as that one hate group from back in the day. Obviously everybody's keeping up with Kanye, so they all know what I mean when I say he identifies as that one hate group. From the mustache guy from back in the day. He identifies with that group. He's been putting out tweets talking about, all sorts of people he's worked with. He's been coming at Cardi. He's been coming at Kendrick. He shows love, but then also comes at Drake. So that doesn't make any sense. He's been coming at Jay-Z and Beyonce and their kids. He came at Kim. He's been coming at a bunch of people recently. He's just been saying and doing a bunch of wild stuff. And this is partly why I didn't want to make an episode about this a while ago, because it's the same story, just a different day. It's just the same thing, a different day. And I'm trying not to curse. Y'all know I've been trying to curse less on this platform, but it's the same thing, just a different day. And I go on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I'm seeing, like I said, I see hour-long discussions about what he's been posting and what he's been doing. Oh my God, Kanye did this. Did y'all see what Kanye did today? I can't believe this. We all need to stop being fans of Kanye. The old Kanye, the guy that used to wear the pink polos, he's gone now. Yes. He's been gone for years. Why is everybody still talking about like they're shocked? If anything, I should title this episode, What is Wrong with Y'all? Because what I don't understand is, I keep regurgitating this. This has been going on for years. And I've been seeing so many creators, some that don't even talk about music. I've seen creators that don't talk about music. I've seen creators that basically just do vlogs, like just show off their lives. I've seen so many different creators talk about Kanye when they have no reason to. I'll get to the hip hop commentators after this, but the people that literally don't talk about hip hop, making videos, adding their 2 cents, let's keep it real, bruh. Y'all just want clicks and views. Let's keep it all the way real. Y'all want clicks and views. Because there's no other, if you don't talk about hip hop, if you're not part of the hip hop community, if you don't talk about music, if you don't exist in that space, what are you talking about Kanye for? Like literally, what are you talking about him for? I know some people are going to say like, we need to speak about this so that people know not to exhibit his behavior. But honestly, that's why it's getting clicks and views. That's why it's becoming headlines, because majority of people know that what he's doing and saying is wrong. So I mean, some people can feel that way. I'm not going to say that you're wrong for feeling that way, but ultimately, I just don't see why you should feel that way, just because majority of people, anybody with a brain, knows that what he's doing and saying is wrong. That's why it's such big news. But for the people that don't be in the hip hop, or not even just hip hop, because Kanye is more than just hip hop. If you just don't interact with that music space, then what are you talking about him for? We know what you're talking about him for, but I just want to hear the answer out of your mouth. It's because, let's keep it real, he's a hot topic right now, and if you talk about him, you will get clicks and views. That's all it is. Now, for the people that do talk about Kanye, for the people that do speak on hip hop and music and stuff like that, for those people, like I said, you guys keep talking about him every time he does something new. Because I'm going to make this promise to y'all right now. After I drop this episode, I'm not talking about him again. I've already been avoiding it. I'm only addressing it now because people won't stop asking me, and people at least want to hear something. So here, I'm going to give y'all this one episode, and then I'm moving on with my life. Because honestly, I feel like people should just start ignoring him. The crazy thing is, and I've watched, I'm not going to say any names because I don't want it to seem like I'm coming at these hip hop commentators. I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to start beef with people, because honestly, I do respect a lot of the hip hop commentators that I watch. So I'm not going to say no names because I don't want it to come off like I'm, going at them or anything. But I've seen hour-long discussions about this stuff, and they all keep saying the same thing from the last discussion that they've done maybe a year or a few months ago. Kanye is losing his mind. He's saying he's being racist. I can't believe he's doing this. This isn't the same guy that made Graduation. Like, why? What more do you have to say? Like, what more is there to add? Why do we keep needing to address this? It's the same story. That's why, honestly, I believe that people should be ignoring him. It's crazy how these same people that will make hour-long discussions will say, oh, he's just an attention seeker. He just wants attention. We need to stop giving him attention. But then you're making a whole... I'm trying not to curse. But you're making a whole hour-long video. Like, you keep saying that he's an attention whore, and you keep saying that we need to stop giving him attention, but then you're making the video. You're making the episode. So you are just feeding into this. I'm seeing tweets. I'm seeing Instagram posts. Like I said, I'm seeing podcasts and YouTube episodes dedicated to this. And I'm just like, bro, if y'all know that's all he wants, why do you keep giving it to him? That's why, up to this point, I haven't said anything. And that's why I don't want to say anything after this. Because, like I said, majority of this episode is talking about the people talking about him. Honestly, look, like I said earlier, if you have a brain, if you are a decent human being, then yeah, what he's doing is wrong. That's all I'm going to say about him personally. Y'all know where I stand with that sentence alone. But I am urging people, and I know when I put this episode out, I know most people are not going to agree with me. I may even get some hateful comments, which that seems to happen a lot when I have a strong opinion on hip hop, especially someone as big as Kanye. I know I'm going to get a bunch of people probably disagreeing with my point, but honestly, I'm just going to stand on this. I really do believe that we just need to start ignoring him. I mean, I've already been ignoring him, but I feel like majority of people need to get on that too. Like, we just need to ignore him because at the end of the day, this is what he wants. He wants us to talk about him. He wants, more people to basically, yeah, like I said, just talk about him. He wants that attention. He wants everybody's eyes on him. And it doesn't matter what type of attention it is, whether it's us saying that he's making the best music of all time, whether it's us saying, that what he's doing is wrong and that he's, going crazy and stuff like that. He just wants to be talked about. He just wants to be seen. And if everybody knows this, why do we keep giving it to him? And you know what? I'll say we, because while I haven't talked about him up to this point, the fact that I'm making this episode, even though I'm mostly addressing everybody else, this is still going to probably bring attention to him. So I will include myself in this. But the difference with me, and it seems like with all these other people, is that I'm willing to actually just leave this shit alone. See, there it goes. I just cussed. Well, I guess I'm allowed one. But I'm willing to leave this alone once I'm done recording this. But I am urging y'all. I am urging everybody, if you are listening to this episode, if you have a platform, which I don't know if anybody else with a platform watches my channel, but like, if you have a platform or anything like that, or even just a regular person on Facebook, Twitter, all of that, please just stop talking about him. Let him just be that guy standing in the corner saying a bunch of crazy things in the corner. Let him be that weirdo that just, I don't know, just let him be. Because honestly, the way that we going right now, he's only going to double down. He's only going to get crazier. I don't know why it's taking y'all this long to realize, or maybe it's a difference between realizing and actually doing. Some things are better said than done. So these people know that he's an attention whore, and these people know that they shouldn't give him attention. But I guess when we're talking about someone that was highly regarded, not just, like I said, not even just in hip hop, but this guy was highly regarded in the grand scheme of music, fashion, even to a certain extent, video and film. Like, when we're talking about someone of this high caliber, I guess it really is hard to just not talk about this person anymore and just to let them go. But honestly, it gets to a point to where, when are y'all finally going to get to that point? Like, when are y'all finally? Personally, me, I've gotten to that point a while ago. I don't remember exactly. I do remember where it started. If you guys remember, I think like maybe 2-3 years ago, it was sometime closer to like when I first started this podcast. I was actually dating a Jewish girl, and I was dating her around the time that this dude went and was talking about Jewish people on, I forget what platform he was on, but this was basically the start of his racist era. And that's when I started to be like, I don't know if I can keep listening to this dude anymore. And it's not even because I was dating a Jewish girl, but like personally me and her broke up. So So it's not even about her, but it's just the fact that I didn't like what he was saying. It was just on top of that, I had a Jewish girlfriend. But like now, it's like it's only gotten worse over time. And that was the start of it, of me being like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But then as time went on, and he just kept doubling down with the crazy things that he's really been saying. To be honest, if I'm going to be real, if I'm going to be 100% real, and this is part of growing up and, really thinking back on things. To be honest, Tevin nowadays, if I heard him say slavery was a choice today, honestly, I would have stopped rocking with him then. But when I was younger, when he said that, like I think I was like 18 or 19 when he first said that. I don't remember exactly when he said that. But like when he said that, I saw, not that I agreed with him, but I saw what he was trying to say. But now that I'm older, it's like I can see what you're trying to say, but I can still feel like you're wrong, and I can still feel like, you need to get yourself together. Back then, I was just like, I don't agree with you, but I can see what you're saying, so I'll just let it rock. But now it's like I can't. I just can't. And the crazy thing is, I'm typically someone that can separate music from the person. I am typically that person. But when someone continuously acts so disgusting, it's like I'm not even purposely trying to stay away from your music. You just actually disgust me so much that I do it with ease. You disgust me so much that I don't even really like talking about you for real, for real. Like I said, I'm only doing this episode just because people want to know how I feel. So in the future, for future reference, if anybody want to know how I feel about this man, this is the episode right here. Just click on this episode. Don't ask me. Anybody that personally knows me, which I know a lot of people that personally knows me don't really check out my content, but like, if they ask me how I feel about him, I'm just going to point them to the direction of this episode, because I mean, that's pretty much how I feel at this point. But to sum up how I feel about him, I just want to say he is moving very disgustingly. So I don't care for him at all. I don't care for his music. I don't care for, him as a person. I just don't care anymore. And honestly, like I always say, the sad thing about it is nobody can take away that he's talented. Nobody can take away that he is honestly one of the best artists of all time. But even though we can't take that away from you, your actions can make people stop caring about that. Because honestly, that work will continue on. I mean, everybody's going to acknowledge that work, but the person you are is really turning people off. I mean, at least I'm speaking for me. I can acknowledge that you're one of the greatest artists of all time, but at the same time, I can also acknowledge that you are a piece of shit that I honestly don't want to put any more time into. Unless you turn things around and unless you become a better person, I can't see myself being that fan that I was of you. So if you want to know how I feel about him, that says it right there. But like I said, majority of this episode, which I'm going to end it pretty quickly because this is the only thing I really felt like talking about this week. But majority of this episode is dedicated to you guys that won't let him go. You guys need to let him go. He has been exhibiting this behavior for the past few years. And we all honestly should have jumped ship a long time ago. And we need to stop talking about him. We need to ignore him. We just gotta let this shit go. Let him go. And that goes out to normal people that be tweeting, posting stuff on Instagram. That goes out to these companies that always has to share his next moves. Everybody is tired of him, but for some reason we got to share his moves. I'm talking about you academics. I'm talking about you Shade Room. I'm talking about all these publications. We always keep saying that we're tired of him, but yet you guys want to keep posting him. These commentators that every time he does something, we need to have big ground group discussions. We need to have videos made about him. Let it go. Let it go. Like I said, maybe I'm being a hypocrite. I mean, I've always told people that I'm a hypocrite. Maybe I'm being hypocritical by putting out this episode, but I spoke my piece and now I'm moving on. And I hope that most of you who's been speaking your piece for years about this will finally come to the conclusion that I'm at and say, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Um, that's pretty much all I had for y'all today. Like I said, man, I was off this week, but next week we're gonna get right back on track. We're gonna get back to a Tuesday episode. And yeah, ultimately, I just want to spread some peace, love, and positivity after all of that, because the dude we're speaking about does not spread that. So I personally want to spread that. Thank you to all the new subs, everybody that's been checking out my channel and stuff like that. And yeah, let me know down below what's y'all thoughts. I don't want to specifically ask what y'all thoughts on Kanye. I mean, if you want to speak on him, then leave it down below. But what's y'all thoughts on people like still discussing him, even though there's nothing new to say at all? Like, what's y'all thoughts on that? And with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.